Before there were ships, before there were chains, before there were laws written in ink and blood, there was something quieter, an idea. Every system of domination begins not with violence, but with orientation. Because a person who knows who they are is difficult to move. A person who knows where they come from resists being redefined. So the first question is never, how do we control them? The first question is, how do we get them to let go of themselves? Across parts of West and Central Africa, oral histories describe a place of turning. Sometimes it's described as a tree, sometimes a path, sometimes a ritual of circling. Different names, different details, same function. A moment where the past is interrupted, where identity is suspended, where continuity is broken before physical removal begins. Today, people call this place the forgetting tree, and the arguments usually start here. Was it real? Was it symbolic? Was it exaggerated? But those questions miss the point, because systems don't need myths to be factual. They need them to be effective. To understand why forgetting worked, we have to stop thinking about memory as a story and start thinking about it as a biological system. Memory is not one thing. There is episodic memory. That's lived experience. There is semantic memory, names, meanings, identity labels. There is procedural memory, rhythm, movement, muscle memory. And there is emotional memory, fear, safety, belonging. Trauma does not erase all of these evenly. Extreme stress floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline. Those chemicals help you survive the moment, but they damage the hippocampus. That's the part of the brain responsible for narrative memory. So what happens? You remember how it felt, but not what it meant. This is why trauma survivors often say, I don't remember everything, but I know something happened. That sensation is not imagination. It is physiology.
When stress responses repeat across generations, memory systems reorganize, narrative identity weakens, survival behaviors strengthen, emotion persists without context.
So when descendants say, I don't know my lineage, but something feels missing, that feeling is real. The body remembers what the language lost. Here's the part that makes people uncomfortable. The forgetting tree did not require belief. You did not need to believe in it. You did not need to accept it. You only needed to participate. Repetition rewires the brain. Disorientation destabilizes identity. Renaming interrupts continuity. These are not ancient tricks. They are still used today. Military induction, cult conditioning, prison intake, human trafficking pipelines. Strip the name, break the timeline, replace the story. This wasn't chaos. It was repeatable.
So even resistance didn't save you. Your body still had to adapt. And adaptation, over time, can look like forgetting.
Names are not labels. They are coordinates. A name tells you where you belong, who claims you, and what story you inherit. This is why renaming was systematic. Christian names, European surnames, census categories, property records. Renaming does not erase humanity. It replaces lineage. It forces a person to locate themselves inside someone else's system. So when Africans say they forgot where they came from, and African Americans say they don't understand what was taken, Both are telling the truth from inside different injuries. One group remembers place but lost sovereignty. The other lost place entirely and had to invent survival. This divide is not natural. It's engineered distance. A person who remembers does not ask permission. They name themselves. They trace patterns. They recognize manipulation. This is why records were destroyed, languages were punished, spiritual systems were demonized, timelines were blurred. Forgetting was not an accident. It was the feature.
Systems remain stable when identity remains fragmented. Reintegration produces unpredictability.
And unpredictability threatens hierarchy. This episode is not about blame. It's about architecture. Emotion comes first, then explanation, then repair. Healing without understanding becomes fantasy. Unity without diagnosis becomes performance. You cannot reconnect what you do not yet understand. And in the next episode, we will talk about what reconnection actually requires. Not romantically, not spiritually bypassed, but real.